All right, welcome back. Welcome back to session 3. So happy to see Kim, Amira. Amira, where are you calling from? And I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name correctly. You can just respond in chat.
Oh, she did. Kenya. Wow. Oh, my word. Wow. How exciting.
Yeah, my
That's
Lord. So oh, wow. Interesting. All right. Welcome back. It is a very interesting topic that I want to cover today. We're recording, everything is good. The topic of giving, the art of giving, it is an art form and it's important to learn it. You know, I was looking for some quotes about giving, and there is an abundance of those. Think of giving not as duty, but as a privilege, said Rockefeller. I have found that among its other benefits, giving liberates the soul of the giver, said Maya Angelou. Happiness doesn't result from what we get, but from what we give. And we're already learning how it actually works in real life. And my favorite saint, St. Francis of Assisi, for it is in giving that we receive. And this whole course is about this giving and receiving, and what we give, we receive. So are you thinking about your goals? Are you thinking a little bit about your goals? Are you thinking about partnering? What I would love for you to do, for those who are viewing or for those who are viewing and recording, please send me the questions, because I'm thinking about what to share with you in the bonus section in the last session. And oh, Amira, beautiful picture. Thank you for showing your face. So send me the questions as you are contemplating who to pair with, how to pair, what to do, what not to do. I will address those questions and make it even more precise for you. And let me start sharing my screen, my slides. Perfect. All right, partnering for success. So let's recap. It's good to recap. It's good to recap. But aside from the recap, let's talk about today rules of the partnerships. Who to give, how much to give, what to give. And I alluded a little bit about giving. But let's just dive a little bit more into it. Then I want to talk about accelerators, and because you don't want life happen to you sometime later, you want it fast. So the accelerators exist. This is an art, you have to study it, and initially it might look fakey, you know, a little bit selfish. It is not. It's okay to feel that way. We're just unlearning everything that we learned all of our lives, which is not true, doesn't help us live. And then I want to talk about power partners. Who are the people that you absolutely want to think if you get an opportunity to partner with? And that's what we will try to cover in the next 45 minutes. So this is the framework that I showed you in the earlier sessions, in the very first session, 4 pillars. And I want to reiterate it more and more and more. I want you to remember the 4 fingers. Remember the 4 fingers. And this is karmic management. It's actually a system. It is actually a thing. And there is a wonderful, wonderful teacher who I subscribe to, and he wrote a book about karmic management. His name is Michael Roach. He is one of the few Westerners who actually did study Tibetan Buddhism for 25 years and deployed it, was asked by his teachers to deploy all of his learnings in the real life. So he started a business, and that business doubled every year for 10 years until they sold it to Warren Buffett. And that's how karmic management became a thing and became a book. And that will give you even more meat about what I'm talking here. But the first thing is we choose what we want. And we talked about motivation. We talked about heart desires, not the ego. I gave you in the motivation topic a lot of the pointers, what not to chase, what not to go after, money, praise, and it drives us constantly. And I've learned a lot in my own life and chased full speed, wholeheartedly, those wrong motivations. And they only show you that the happiness is not where you are seeking it. And, and there has to be some greater good. And then we start planting the seeds of what we want to receive. We start giving what we want to receive. There's only one way to receive, is by giving. So we partner it with somebody who needs the same. We support them as best as we can regularly. Then next session, we'll talk about watering these actions, watering these mental seeds that we've planted. And I'll explain to you the signs of watering, the garden of your future. And then in one but last session, we'll talk about mental and emotional obstacles that don't let the good come in our life. But this is essentially the reminder of what we're all talking about. It is the 4 pillars of success. It is the cause and effect of everything that happens to us in life. So far, so good. Now, there are rules. There are rules of partnering. There are rules of gardening. And the rules of giving. And when you want to find an ideal partner, you need to think about somebody who wants the same you want. So if you are looking for a job, don't go looking for somebody who has a job, doesn't think, maybe contemplates, maybe would wish to, but there is no real desire to go and find another job. So I've partnered with a woman on addictions, on losing weight, the addiction to food. And we've partnered for over 2 years, wonderful woman. We spent weekly sessions and learned a lot, but she's a smoker and has no intention to quit smoking. So you can do all you want, but the result will not come. You have to really find somebody who really wants what you desire in your heart. Otherwise, you'll be wasting time. And time is precious. And we want to give unconditionally. We want to give not to receive, but we want them to receive. So if you impose your giving, suffocate somebody in your giving, it is equivalent to violence. And I'm launching a course that goes deeper in all of this stuff. But somebody will be doing the same to you. Somebody will be imposing, controlling, and doing things to you that you don't want. So it has to be a mutual desire. When you find that person, you don't have to tell them, listen, Amira, I want to do karmic management on you. I want to meet with you on a weekly basis, and I want to help you. I don't know, maybe you want to find an apartment, a house to live in. And I will go and look for places for you. I will try to help you and find the best apartment you want to have. It's quiet, it's green, it meets every criteria you want. You don't have to do any of that. You don't need to do a disclosure. All you need to have a person who needs what you ideally would like to do, to achieve, and you need a desire to help. They don't need to know that you are doing this or that. The disclosure is not necessary. If you want to educate them on the system, please, but help because they need help. Don't find yourself somebody to practice on. You can, but it's best to find a person that genuinely needs what you have. And the reason I asked you, and maybe I should have created a separate group for it, and maybe we'll do it in the future, where people can post their goals, and that way you see exactly who needs what, and it's easier to partner. There are a lot of groups that if it's health related, if it's financial, or if it's relationship, there are a lot of venues, plenty of groups where people kind of conjugate and have similar desires and interests. So you can always find somebody outside this free course that we're doing right now. So desire to help. So want the same. We're not running and opposing. We're not experimenting with people. We are being genuine in this. Desire to help is important. Strong desire, emotionally charged desire, is even more important. I told you, emotions drive us. They move energy, and they make these mental seeds much stronger. So, they make them stronger both ways. If we do something that is charged with anger, and we do a lot of the emotionally charged things, not necessarily positively emotionally charged, and we get so quick, the results we get immediately, very quickly, we get similar results because emotions give ammunition to all of it. So the desire to really help somebody, genuinely help, and you can dedicate even something that you're doing, even to the benefit of another. Dedication is another powerful tool that warrants a separate conversation. But your desire to help, genuine desire, it accentuates those mental seeds. It gives them power. It, when you get a little packet of seeds, and some are skinny, sunflower seeds, some are full and something good will grow out of them. Some are barely there and they will be weak. Of course they will grow, or maybe not. So the emotional charge makes these seeds plump and good, healthy, strong. Now, the third one, you can't be running in and out of this. You have to commit. You have to commit and do it on a regular basis repeatedly. And we talked earlier that weekly is good, depending how quick you want your stuff. Depending how quickly you want your goals, but I would recommend regular meetings on the weekly basis, and you don't need to dedicate an hour out of your life to do this. And when you plan it, it is so easy to be completely and unconditionally in this situation, whatever you're doing. because you already dedicate, you said to yourself, I'm doing this. This is my to-do time. You're not thinking about something else. You dedicate yourself to it. When it becomes a routine, it's like I brush my teeth in the morning, or I eat lunch at 12, and I do this at certain time, and maybe I do something for work. So it becomes very routine. So success and repeated success, not once in a blue moon. And then you give unconditionally. You remember that what you give is always give to yourself. So there's no other, there's no other, it's always you, but you need another to bounce that, to ricochet. You need another to receive. There's no other way. So give as if you're giving to yourself, because you are giving to yourself. And don't expect anything in exchange. You don't worry about that. The universe will take care of it. Trust the universe, the source, the divine, whatever you call, the greater good, the bigger force behind everything, to settle all the scores, to take care of the rest. You just do the doing, and the universe will take care of the rest. That is so true. Awesome. It's very hard for me, for instance, to trust the universe. Anurag said that is true. So we're so used to professional women that are ambitious and reach something in their lives and gain something. So we work for our success. We're used to working and achieving. And so it is very hard to trust that you just do the doing and the giving, and something else will take care of settling the scores. It is some sort of a surrender. It is a trust. It is a trust thing. And it's hard for me particularly to trust. So it's overcoming that piece is a challenge. So these are the rules. Fairly straightforward, right?
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk about accelerating. Accelerators, we want to accelerate. Time is precious and it goes so fast. Look, I'm already 50 and all my life I live differently. So there is, time is of essence. The time is precious. How do you spend your time? How do you allocate it? And how do you choose between who to help, how to help? How do you choose how to invest? And you know, the Michael Roach, for instance, the gentleman, the teacher that I mentioned at the beginning, he said, choose the higher good, choose the bigger good, choose the greater impact, essentially. So if you can do, if you, for instance, financially, let's pick financial goal, because let's say money, the dollar goes only so far. Let's say there is a limited, right now at the starting position, the limited amount. Who will you choose to support to gain greater financial stability and independence yourself? And these are power partners. And the power partners are those that stretch your efforts more. They stretch more because you constantly need to plant these seeds. The reason you have to do it regularly, you can't stop. Even if you're in the relationship, you have to nourish and feed that karma, feed that mental cause, the cause of that relationship. Because everything runs out in life, everything does. We believe that everything is infinite, but it's not. Everything is finite. And you constantly have to invest. So the power partners, they stretch the bark, they make the seed plump. And let's talk about them. Motivation is critical because we talked about motivation as being 90% of your result. And whenever you do anything, think about those motivations that we discussed. Why am I doing? And just correct yourself. So, for instance, if you decided to strengthen your relationship with your partner, right? And you said you will go either to nursing home, or maybe there is a place where the disabled people live. They're like children. They're actually extremely powerful partners to have, particularly for relationships. Just practice shows. And you go, you stay your hour. You think you're doing them good. You think, for the most part, that you're planting yourself some good mental seeds. You partnering for your own success. You will get the partner. You will have a relationship with a partner, but the relationship will be very much colored by the motivation that came into that mental seed. It will be very egotistic, very selfish, very for myself. If you come and say, hey, people, in your mind, I'm going to use you to achieve certain things in my life. So remember about the motivation. You're not doing them a favor. You need another person to get anything in life. So they are doing a favor to you. So always come back to those motivations and self-correct yourself before you even open the door. Have some gratitude for them to being there so that you can have something good in your life. So that's the motivation. You know, it's always, I don't know if I gave you this example or not, like my mom would ask me to do something rather than another sibling. Even if the other sibling is there, she would ask me, I don't know, get medicine or do something. And there's this sibling rivalry. Why always me? Why I'm always responsible? Can't you ask your son? But maybe I needed more. Maybe I needed more. So you kind of have to be grateful that you're asked. And that's work. That's work. So power partners. Let's spend some time talking about the power partnerships. So in the first category, you see me and my mom. In the first category, there are people who did, who helped you in the past. And, you know, we always travel with similar people. We change costumes, we change roles, but we always travel with similar people. And it is funny system how we help each other pay the dues that we have accumulated. Even if you push somebody or touch somebody on the subway or on the train, it's not a coincidence, you know that person. So we travel in tribes. So people who helped you in the past are extremely powerful because there's good to have a balance, not just because you have to give something back every time you get something. No, it's not like that. Because we'll never learn to receive unconditionally. We'll never learn to trust that the scores will be settled. So you'll be always settling the scores yourself. But in this category of people who helped you in the past are your parents. Parents are extremely, extremely, extremely strong partnerships for success. You will not be, and I will not be sitting here, and you will not be sitting there listening to me if not for the parents. They gave us the human body, they gave us the life, they sacrificed. And in the Tibetan system, there is, they say that that's all they signed up to do for you, to give you life. Everything else is great. Everything else, whether you grew up in a home, loving, not loving, where they kept you, where they raised you, they fed you, they changed your diapers, they sent you to school, they got up at night when you were sick, all of that gravy. They did not have to do it. It's just the goodness of your own mental seeds to have that or not to have. But the only thing you have to be grateful for, and that's the only thing that they signed up for, is to give you life. And that is huge. Notice on these power partnerships, there are no animals. And the reason there are no animals is not because I tell you not to go help the shelter or take care of your dog or cat. No, but only in the human body, only with this kind of consciousness and mind, we are able to liberate ourselves from suffering. There is a term called enlightenment, where you don't have to suffer ever again, and help so many people not to suffer. And so only in the human body we can do that. And that is a gift. That is a tremendous gift. And the parents are the ones who kind of gave you that gift. You have the body of the human, you have life, you can do so much with it. And it is extremely rare, because out of the billions and billions of different creatures that live on the planet Earth, we're the minority. We're by far the biggest minority. And Tibetans say that it is as rare as if there is an ocean and there is an old turtle that lives at the very bottom of this ocean and comes up once every 10,000 years. She comes out for air. And at that point, the plane would be flying over and would drop the lifesaver, and the lifesaver would get onto the turtle's head. This is the rarity of being born as a human. It is extremely priceless, and it is extremely rare. So, so good and bad towards your parents is powerful. So use it for the good. I've done enough of bad, bickering, yelling, fighting with my mom. So, and my parents. Now I know better. And I think Maya Angelou said, when you know better, you do better. So, and we always have these, scores, settling scores, not enough of this and not enough of that. Remember just one thing, everything that you want, not enough, was the gravy. Nobody signed up for it. So people who did good for you in the past, and parents are squarely there. Anything you do towards your parents, the magnitude of that is tremendous. Now, there is a picture here where you have a lot of hungry kids. I should have chosen a different picture, because I hate the commercials when different non-commercial organizations ask for money, and you never know where the money goes. But somebody who is in deep need, somebody who is experiencing hardship. I don't know, it could be a woman who is going through divorce, single mother with child, somebody who is in the midst of something where they need help, they're asking for help now. So you don't need to go looking for somebody who would love a new job. Somebody who's in distress and needs help now is very strong, because all of it is premised on a lot of emotions, and you can help somebody elevate from that stress now. And it could be anything depending what you're looking to do. There are a lot of groups of people who are in very difficult situations, especially now. So that's the second bucket. The third bucket, the third category, are people who can help many. So when you support somebody who makes the lives of so many more people better, they are your power partners. So for instance, Amazon, every dollar that I spend on Amazon, they have a program called Smile.Amazon. So I don't know, I probably don't have it, but I spend anyway, and every penny that Amazon chooses to allocate out of my purchases is going, so let's say there's St. Jude Hospital, for instance. They're helping lots of children with cancer. And it's a wonderful institution. But when you support an institution, an organization that has an ability to improve lives of many people, that is powerful. Don't do it mindlessly. Don't put it on autopilot and never think about it, because it creates a seed, but it's not a very strong seed. Think about that periodically and be happy about it. And we'll talk about it in one of the sessions. And then the last, and doctors, teachers, shelters. So a lot of organizations who do good, and they help many, many, many people. And then the last category, we talk about people who have high ethical IQ, who are soulful, who are spiritual. And spiritual is ethical to a large extent. And I'm not talking about dogma. I'm not talking about religious dogma. I come across a lot of teachers who dedicate their lives to mentoring and teaching people, teaching subjects like this, so that this is really transformation. This is really sacred knowledge that can elevate somebody from suffering. For instance, the Michael Roach that I mentioned at the beginning, he dedicated his life after he sold the business to teaching, and he created more secular study, business studies. He's constantly teaching, he's constantly translating. And if somebody's teaching you and you are helping them, if you're calling somebody your kind of spiritual mentor, if you will, and you're helping them, it is super duper powerful. If at some point you will find yourself on the journey of spirituality and you find yourself a good teacher that you follow and you trust, they are super, super, super powerful, because they exemplify, they mirror the best part of you, the most pristine and clean part of you that you want to get in touch with. And, when I just started this course, and still sent me an email that she decided to partner with the youth pastor, it must be in her church, to support him in the Exodus refugee program. And that is amazing. So if it's a good pastor in a spiritual institution and they're doing something good, and you know in your heart that it's good stuff and resonates, by all means. So something like that, less about money and the house, less about the material goods, which are perishable, they are not permanent. You will leave them behind. The only thing you don't leave behind is your spiritual stuff, your spiritual growth. So your spiritual age, that travels with you. But everything else is for rent. The body, the house, the family, the relationships, all of that will vanish. So these are the powerful partnership. Hope this makes sense when you're thinking about your goals. You can be a little bit more precise and more thoughtful about how you go about it. Yes, and why do we want to do all of that? Every person you do help with the goodness of your heart, they will help 10 more others. After a while, when you embrace this philosophy, this system, and start getting results for yourself, and I don't want you to believe me, this is not based on belief or somebody told me and I told you and we told each other. No, you have to try to believe it. I don't want you to believe somebody, anything. You have to try everything on yourself. So, but you start becoming a good virus. You become anti-corona in a way, because when you achieve something and it's some different way that people cannot pinpoint, they cannot put their finger to it, they will come to you and they'll ask you, how did you do this? And then you can spread it. You can spread the goodness and you become that way a virus of good. And that's the point of sharing any of this information, so that you decide to try it. Why not? Something simple, 1 or 2 or 3 goals that you can dedicate time to and really try. Once you have conviction, oh my goodness, you can help so many more once you are convinced that there is a system that works always. And this is essentially what I wanted to share with you about the art of giving. There could be more, but I'm trying to be very pragmatic and practical and give you the essence. And what I would love to know, what do you take out of this session? What kind of dropped into your unconscious the most? Just type in the chat. Tell me what you take away from this or prior sessions. And it's a good way to focus your memory and anchor more. What was the most aha for you, helpful to you, give to receive? Sometimes force yourself to think, what did I learn from this? Always believe the more we give to others, the happier we are in life. This has been a good reminder. Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. So, The fun work for you is to just think a little bit more about what you want now that you have a little more. Everyone is in our past for a reason. Good or bad? Yes, we color it good or bad, but it's always good. So continue to think about your goals. Continue to think about how you want this year to pan out for you and who you want. Always silver lining. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I will see you next week. Not next week, this coming Saturday, and we'll talk about either watering the seeds or negative weeds, but maybe we'll do the watering of seeds, and I'll teach you some of the practices, how to do it with your mind. And thank you so much for being here today with me. Send me your questions, please, so I could prepare for the last sessions. Have the most wonderful day, ladies. Bye-bye.